Hello, my name is Carter Ross. In 1986, the nuclear power plant in Chernobyl, Ukraine exploded during a test releasing radiation into the atmosphere. Because of this one catastrophic event, most people think nuclear power is too dangerous to use. Today I'll be talking about the most common forms of energy and the most efficient one, nuclear power, and why people oppose it. I found it very surprising that we use a lot of coal energy in America still. Did you know that coal is only 33% efficient in converting coal into energy? It also has a lot of downsides. According to the U.S. Environment Information Association, coal plants release sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, carbon dioxide, mercury, and other heavy metals into the atmosphere. Sulfur dioxide being released in the atmosphere can result in acid rains and respiratory diseases. Nitrogen oxide causes smog, haze, respiratory issues, and lung diseases. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Mercury and other heavy metals being released into the atmosphere from these plants can cause neurological and developmental damages in humans and animals. They also produce a lot of waste that they call fly ash that they used to release out of the smokestacks. Now they just store it next to the plants and in landfills. Natural gas is another form of energy that we use, and it produces around 30% of the US's energy. Natural gas is a little bit better than coal in the fact that it is slightly more efficient. It is about 42% efficient in converting natural gas into power. Unfortunately, it also has drawbacks. The main one is being it is not renewable, and we are running out. Experts predict that in the next 50 years, we will run out of natural gas. It also emits a lot of greenhouse gas, mainly carbon dioxide. We also have to transport natural gas long distances, which would result in us having to dig more pipelines if we use more of it. Many people believe solar energy is the next thing that's going to save us, but that isn't practical. Solar panels only convert 11 to 15% of the sun's energy into electricity. The rest is wasted into heat. It is also very expensive to install solar panels, especially at your house. Solar panels also take up a huge chunk of land for one of the plants. They are also unreliable. If you think about it, whenever it is raining or it's cloudy or the sun's not shining, they are not producing electricity. For them to be any kind of effect, we'd have to use an assortment of batteries, which would further the cost of installing them. And then we would have to mine for materials to get the batteries, which is harmful for the environment. Then we have wind turbines that are only 20 to 40% efficient at converting wind into power. Yet again, just like solar panels, wind turbines are unreliable. They only make energy when the wind is blowing. And if the wind is blowing too fast or too hard, they usually lock them so they don't overspin or break down. They also disturb nature. According to the Energy Monitor AI website, around 1.1 million birds are killed every year to wind turbines. Now that I've talked about the other forms of energy, let's talk about the most efficient and clean form of energy, nuclear power. Nuclear power is the most efficient form of energy, being able to convert 92% of the uranium into usable energy. 1 ton of uranium can produce more than 40 million kilowatt hours of electricity. This is equivalent to burning 16 tons of coal or 80,000 barrels of oil. They also emit no greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. According to the Nuclear Energy Institute, the United States avoided more than 471 million metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions in 2020. That is equivalent to removing 100 million cars from the road. The waste that nuclear energy produces is also very small, and we have been able to figure out a way to recycle it. And they are currently developing new nuclear power plants to be able to run on the recycled fuel. Now I'll discuss why most people think nuclear power is dangerous and is not a form of energy we should use. Most people know about the incident in Chernobyl and say that is why we should not use nuclear energy. But if you look at what actually happened, you can see that the accident was completely avoidable. The reactor was a flawed design that was operated with inadequate trained personnel. They were running tests on a reactor before they had all their safety shutdowns operational. The core, during their test, started to overheat and melt down, and they didn't have any safeties to shut it off. If they would have followed safety procedures and known what they were doing, this event could have been prevented completely. People also know about the incident at the 3 Mile Island, during which the reactor started to overheat and shut itself down. During one of these shutdowns, 3 backup pumps started up to pump water to the reactor to cool it off, but the valves leading to the reactor were closed, which was in violation of the safety protocol. So if they would have followed safety procedures, this event also could have been completely avoided. I hope I have now made it clear why we should use more nuclear energy and how efficient and clean electricity it is. With the decline in non-renewable fossil fuels and the expensive and low efficiency of solar and wind power, it is obvious that we need to expand on nuclear energy.